Welcome or welcome back to my channel. So let's get into your reading tonight. This is the full moon. This full moon we are looking into moving obstacles that stand in the way of your intention, of the seed that you've planted, of what you want to grow, what you want to manifest. So this is more likely your reading if you are specifically thinking about something that you want to grow and manifest at this time. I am going to use the archetype cards today so that we can get an idea of your personality, so you know that this is definitely your reading. Now, if the cards come out and you think that isn't me, but it sounds like somebody that you are thinking about or connected to, then stick around because this reading may be about your connection with that person, okay? If anything resonates within this and you would like a personalised reading, then my details are down in the description box, so please do get in touch and I will happily get into that with you on a deeper level. So this is all about illumination then. So what are we going to illuminate today about your current situation and get some information on there? So let's see what archetypes are coming out for us today. And please do, if anything resonates with you, if you could happily drop a little emoji or a comment or something, just so that I know how things are going for you. This keeps coming out. I've seen that a couple of times now. I'm going to see if it comes out again. Yeah, please do like and leave a comment for me. I would be very grateful for that. Right, that was all a bit of a faff, wasn't it? So there's a lot going on there. There's 3 cards that have come out here that I'm going to talk about, and I wonder if that other card's going to come out in a moment as well. So we have, first of all, Liberator. Freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. Shadow attributes can be imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate, ignoring legitimate constraints. So this could be somebody that kind of, you possibly more likely have liberating ideas. Maybe you back causes and things like that, that you feel, you know, perhaps you're very up to date with current affairs and trying to back things that are bringing more of a new way of being into light. You know, you're up with current affairs basically. And you're the type of person that if somebody was telling you their woes or talking about things in a negative way, you would probably play devil's advocate a little bit with those people and give them a positive spin on things, get them to look at things from a different perspective potentially. We have the Martyr. They actually go quite well, the Liberator and the Martyr. So a Martyr is learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause, and the shadow attribute is addiction to self-pity. So a martyr is somebody that's a bit like, you know, I'll take on all of the jobs, but then can have a tendency to be sort of like, oh, well, I have to do everything because nobody will do it if I don't do it. And there's kind of an expectation on how people treat you based on the things that you do. Now, I feel like maybe you're the kind of person that you, not negatively, but in a positive way, if you were in a group of people and there was a job to be done, you'd be the one to go and do the job. You'd be the one that was like, I'll go and do that. Or you don't like standing around having nothing to do. You like to be the one to go and do something. So you kind of get labelled the martyr in that kind of sense. You know, if there's a job to be done, you're the one to do it. But sometimes you can feel not very good about that being the case. Okay. So companion, loyalty, tenacity and unselfishness. Shadow attributes is betrayal by misusing confidences, loss of personal identity. So a companion here in the positive light can be someone that's very loyal. You know, you treasure your friendships, your companionships, your relationships maybe. You show a lot of loyalty to people. You do things out of just pure care rather than because you want something in return. So that, I feel, is another aspect of you. Again, that kind of goes with the martyr, with the shadow attributes, because it's kind of like you can lose yourself in being too giving, like giving too much of yourself and then kind of regretting it later. So let's get one more on here, and I'd laugh if it's that card that keeps flying out, because when I picked up the deck, that particular card came out and then it fell out again there. So I do wonder if it will come out again. We shall see. So what is the other aspect of your personality on here? I can't tell yet whether this is more masculine energy or feminine energy. And as I said, that prince fell out. So perhaps you are. So light attributes is romantic charm and potential for power. Shadow attributes is using power for self-aggrandizement. Aggrandizement. I can't say that word, sorry. So I'm kind of getting the energy that you are a male here. You're a masculine energy. But quite a very caring, loving masculine. And you do have quite a romantic nature to you. You enjoy romantic gestures, you enjoy giving. You could still be the feminine watching this, but maybe you like to take a bit more of a control in relationships and things, where you're or in friendships where you're sort of like the leader. You could be the kind of person that has the job role, such as a nurse or maybe even a police officer or something like that, where you kind of being in a position of being the one in control or being the one to help others, be of service, that kind of thing. But you've also got this underlying quite romantic way about you. Yeah, you do enjoy relationships as well. You enjoy being around people. You like having connections with people in a romantic sense, but also as friendships as well. I feel like you're okay on your own. You don't mind being on your own, but you would prefer to be around people. So I'm going to get some runes out now to represent where your energy is right now. So the current situation that we're discussing, where you're at. Okay, so is a rune of renewal. It's like where something is ending in place of something beginning. It's like a cycle of death and rebirth. But it's not just a cycle of death and rebirth where something's ended and something's beginning. In between the ending and the beginning of something new has been an initiation. So I feel like you have been through something that's kind of highlighted these aspects of yourself. It's kind of highlighted actually how romantic you really are, how much you sort of want to be of service or enjoy being of service, how much you really enjoy companionship, and how you like to feel free and not limited with beliefs. So let's have a look what else we have for you. Isa. So right now you are in a really peaceful place. You're in a state of feeling at peace, at home with yourself. I do feel that you're still in that transition between the death and the rebirth. It's like there's a feeling of like something has ended, you're shedding a skin, but you're actually feeling quite peaceful about it. You're feeling quite observant about yourself over this. This is quite a nice energy I'm getting from this reading tonight, where it's sort of like you've done a lot of reflecting, a lot of inner introspection, and that's all part of I was there as well. But you've also, within that, I feel, been communicating on a spiritual level as well. So you may have been having a lot of communication with the spirit world. It isn't like somebody talking to you. You won't get a message like I'm telling you a message right now through this video. A message would be more sort of like through seeing number patterns or omens, in basically like seeing animals where you wouldn't normally see them, or hearing something on the radio or seeing something on the television that relates to something. Might be songs that you've heard that the lyrics in there making you think, like they stand out to you, and you've heard that song a million times before but they never stood out to you before. Little things like that may have been happening to you in your life at this time, that is kind of like showing you about this spiritual awakening that I feel you are currently going through. Let's see what else we have for you. So this is to do with relationships. This is to do with, I feel like you are connecting with the part of yourself that is, I'm going to connect this to the goddess Freya. So this is about you honouring yourself in your sexual essence as much as anything else, and how you appear in relationships. This is a time for you. I feel like you're moving into a time of trusting yourself in relationships, whereas maybe you haven't been able to trust yourself or perhaps other people in relationships in the past. You've kind of, you've got all this romantic gestures and you love companionship and you like to do for others and things like that, but I feel like some of your experiences have kind of knocked a lot of these things out of sync within you, but they are still very present within you. And this full moon is illuminating these beautiful aspects within you, highlighting them and bringing them to the forefront to help you to recognize the relationships in your life and how they are impacting you. Not always in a negative way, how they're impacting you in a positive way. And I feel like you're doing a lot of introspection about your relationships at this time. So let's get into the cards. So let's have a look at your current situation. Okay, that was easy. What is the current situation right now? Strength. Now this is about being bold and having courage. So your current situation, you may be feeling like you're in a position where you need to be strong here. You need to sort of take that lion. And have you seen the picture of the normal picture of the tarot deck of strength? It's a woman opening a lion's jaws. And to me, it kind of represents someone sort of like allowing out their real deep primal yearnings. Somebody is healing those yearnings, I feel, and accepting them for what they are. Realizing actually it's okay to be these things. It's okay to be who I am, and move forward in the direction that I want to go in. So this is about having the strength to be yourself, but it's also at the moment with that little lamb down there. I feel like since maybe Easter time, you've had this illumination starting to build, this sort of death and rebirth situation happening, and you've been taken through an initiation with spirit. This may be some karmic lessons that you've had to go through. It might be things collapsing in your life that you weren't expecting, that has given you a bit of a knock to your confidence, and kind of sent you into a bit of a healing place. And now you're being asked to sort of, in your current situation, have the strength and the courage to move forward in the direction that feels right for you, that kind of contains all of these aspects of you. So that is where you are currently. What is the challenge to this? What is the challenge to your current situation? What is the challenge to your current situation? Okay, so we have, I feel like this came out in the reverse position when I picked that up just. The challenge here, and we've had this come out recently, is about a third party situation. So this is somebody else interfering in your current situation. So what it is to do with your relationships at the moment, I feel like there's one particular relationship that you feel is interfering or blocking or affecting a connection with somebody else, or like a friendship with somebody else. It kind of it usually represents like community and friendship and people coming together, bringing things together, real friendships. So in the reverse, this is kind of like a non-friend, and this came out literally in a reading before. So have a look through some of the most recent readings that I've done. It might have even been yesterday actually, so you may be the same person watching this video as who watched it yesterday, but there's somebody in your energy that really isn't your friend, that is creating a challenge to your current situation, to what you want to move forward in. And I feel like it is to do with relationships. So the strength and the courage and the vulnerability here, I feel like that is a different connection to this. This is somebody that is acting as a friend or acting as a partner, and they really aren't actually that. They're possibly saying things to you, and I feel like maybe this is what you're letting go of, what the ending is here, ready for the new beginning, but you're in that sort of the strength mode here, going through healing and transitioning. So there's a lot of introspection going on due to this. But if you needed any clarity on this as your challenge, the challenge is to let go of this. Have the strength to separate yourself from things that you know are holding you back from being happy and from moving forward in a way that makes you feel happy. That is what Spirit is telling me to tell you on there. Where are we now? So what do you need to focus on right now? Okay, they kind of like just slid out. So what you need to focus on right now is actually, this is why I think I'm getting this kind of feeling of peacefulness, because what you are focusing on right now, and you are a very strong person, you have these qualities, but you aren't a pushover. You are not a pushover whatsoever. And you know, I think deep down what you want. Now, this is an energy of awakening, and you're starting to trust in your intuition and rise up. I've got an itchy nose again. An unveiling of something is happening here. It's almost like a veil's been lifted off you, like a curse has been broken or something. And it's giving you a self-realization. You're realizing what you want. And the Nine of Cups came out with this, which is a desire fulfillment. So this is the energy of somebody that really sort of, is feeling satisfied. That's what you need to focus on. Focus on what makes you feel satisfied, what fills your desire. It can also represent sensual pleasure as well. So it's almost like, if that is in your energy right now, and it does feel like it with, like I said about Freya before, that's the kind of energy that Freya embodies. And I feel like you're working on improving that within yourself, or being okay with your desires, if you like. I don't know how to explain it any more than that. So focus then on unveiling what your sensual desires are. Focus on that. Focus on that self-realization of what it is that you really want, and cutting off, detaching from that is actually holding you back from fulfilling this, from being able to achieve this, because it's in your heart. It's what you want. It's what you desire. I'm getting something about, not time is running out, but something about, time is short, or life is short. And we can miss opportunities by holding back, by being the martyr, by feeling like we are honouring somebody else's wishes by not honouring our own. Okay. Oh, we've got the Ace of Pentacles on the bottom as well. So this is new opportunities coming in, something that you want to nurture. It can represent as well. Sorry, I thought my phone had just stopped recording then. Yeah, so it's interesting this has come out around this particular full moon, because this is all about planting a seed. So I feel like, right now, subconsciously perhaps, you are planting seeds. It's almost like I see somebody with a row dug out, and they're planting potato seeds within it, ready to grow. And it's like you've actually taken some time to do that. You see potential with the direction that you want to move forward in. So what do you need to let go of? What do you need to let go of in order for this to happen? I'm pulling my own hair. What do you need to let go of? I don't know why that keeps flashing up. What do you need to let go of? Okay, there's 3 cards that fell out there. Okay, there is 5 of Wands, Queen of Cups in reverse, and Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Very interesting. Okay, so what we need to let go of on here is the conflict. I feel like you are very conflicted right now. There's a lot of challenges, I feel, around your passion, or what you want to go towards, what you want to move towards. It's like, you can reach and reach and reach, but if you're so conflicted, you're going to keep looking for different directions and get completely confused. Now, it's interesting that the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles came out in the reverse position, because the Queen of Pentacles is all about nurture, nurturing certain things. But when she's that way up, this can be about sort of like feeling a little bit worried, especially on a financial level. It can be where you're perhaps a little bit too much in your own needs at this time. And that's maybe blocking you from moving forward, It's allowing these aspects of yourself to move forward with sort of like, how does this person feel, or what can I do more of in this situation? I feel because of perhaps a little bit of financial stress there or something, that's what you've been focusing on, and Spirit are asking you to kind of let go of that a little bit. Let go of that stress and worry about financial security or just financial issues right now, because that's in the forefront of your mind. Now, the Queen of Cups they're asking you to release your emotions at this time. So you're very stressed about financial stuff and you're very conflicted about the way forward. So they're asking you to let go of the conflict by letting go of your emotions. Allow your emotions to be expressed, and don't worry about the financial situation. I feel like that might come out more in the reading as we progress, as to why that might be, as to why you don't need to focus on that. So that is what you are essentially being asked to let go of right now, those concerns. And we've got the Two of Cups on the bottom of here. So it feels to me like actually this companionship, I feel like this is something that you want, that you're looking for. And you are feeling strongly about it, and I think you're feeling quite courageous about it. You've had to let go of this non-friend sort of connection that sort of held you back from this, but now you're kind of like having these thoughts and feelings that you want to move forward in a relationship that perhaps is emotionally fulfilling, is desirable. There's a realization that you've had about this, that I'm feeling from this. So let's see what your strengths are at this time. Strengths. Okay, we've got the Nine of Swords in the reverse position. Now I'm going to ask for more cards on that one. So why the Nine of Swords coming up here for your strength? Okay, I'm not going to actually take all of them because they all flew out. It's too confusing. So why the Nine of Swords in the reverse for your strengths? Can we get clarity on that? Okay, so strengths. You don't really see your strengths, I feel. There's a worry or a concern around celebrating a relationship, I feel. It's almost like there's something that you feel is very solid, very secure, very fun and worth celebrating, and maybe even a little bit freeing. But there's something about this that's kind of holding you in a place of deep worry and concern. So it's like your strength is also your weakness in this situation, because it's like maybe you've still got a lot of healing to do, maybe you've still got a lot of work to do. The Strength card can be about healing as well. So that was your current situation, wasn't it? So you are going through an element of healing right now, healing to do with how you feel about yourself. Now, the Four of Wands is a very fortunate, very stable card on here. There are some decks that have the Four Wands not so much out to the side, but they have them in like a diamond shape, which represents Ingwas, which is the rune of trust and union. And that's basically what this is talking about. It's like there's something that you can trust, a union that you can celebrate, that actually does excite you, makes you feel good. But this is holding you back, this sort of like worry or guilt. There's some kind of guilt that's stopping you from really allowing your strengths to shine within this. It's almost like you feel somebody has something on you and there's a fear of that coming out, or being told to somebody that you like. That's what I'm getting from that. And we've got the Two of Swords on the bottom of there. So yeah, you're very conflicted. You're very sort of feeling like you're at a crossroads and don't know which way to turn at this time. So yeah, your strengths are actually coming out as almost like weaknesses. So I'd say focus with your strength on what makes you feel that solid foundation that you can celebrate. Because if you're holding on to some guilt or something that's, you know, that you feel you need to be ashamed of, or, you know, something from the past, I feel, that's holding you back from that. It's like I can see somebody sort of like screaming into a pillow almost, like, oh, at some point I'm going to have to express this, or it's going to come out through this non-friend third party. That's what I'm feeling from that. And that's why you put things on hold. That's why you're in this sort of like stagnant energy right now. But actually, if things are meant to be, and this is making you feel excited and free, and I do see within this sort of like possibly even engagement or marriage or something around this connection, there's a real deep feeling with this, especially with the relationship rune coming out there as well, then actually I do feel that maybe you're overthinking just a little bit too much on this guilt. You've got to, and that's possibly what you need to work on this illumination, this full moon. What that's illuminating for you is like, you need to let go of that concern. If you feel you can express how you're feeling, then express it. But the ultimate thing, the real thing that you need to do is to forgive yourself, I feel. Forgive yourself and let go of this past experience, let go of this past person. You know, things happen, and you are, from what I can see, holding on to a lot of emotion, holding on to like fears around financial stuff, things like that, when actually there's something quite exciting that's in your strengths. You know, there's something that could actually really help you out of these situations and make you feel a lot brighter about your future. On that note, we are going to have a look at the future right now. That was the wrong way around. So let's have a look and see what the future holds in here. What does the future hold here? Okay, we've got the Seven of Swords. So the future here is kind of about needing to have a bit of a strategy. So there's an energy here of somebody betraying themselves almost. So it's kind of like, yeah, an energy of somebody wanting to run away. I'm going to get more on that. We've got a lot of heartbreak as well on the bottom. So we've got the Three of Swords on there. So let's have a look. Seven of Swords. Let's clarify what the Seven of Swords is talking about on here. Because I was talking about this card today with somebody actually. And it's not always about negativity. It's not always about betrayal and dishonour and things like that. And what I got it round to with somebody I was talking to earlier was about how we can sort of be lying to ourselves about how we feel about something. So I feel like very near future for you, literally near, because this is around the full moon. So it's right now, to be honest, in the next few days, potentially next week, I'd say in the next week, you're going through this real illumination of understanding how maybe you've run away from things because you couldn't cope with it, or you didn't feel like you could open up emotionally. Yeah, so remember what we were letting go of on there. So there's a potential here for you to still be having that struggle going on for releasing that. And what I'm seeing on that one, with getting the Page of Pentacles coming out to clarify this card, is almost like when you are faced with something that is a new opportunity or an ability to make a plan, you'd rather run away or hide from it or not not really be the one to make the plan, because there's a fear of being stuck in something. It's almost like a fear of being trapped. So I feel like the future energy here is about you realizing possibly how you may have been betraying yourself and collapsing a pattern of that betrayal of self and moving into an energy of like, right, it's time for a new opportunity. It's time for me to make plans towards my future. And you can see that's a pentacle on there. And before we were saying about what you need to let go of is the financial worry. So this is actually helping you to let go of that financial worry, in terms of like, don't keep thinking into the future about your money situation. Live in the now. Be sensible with your money, but at the same time, try not to think so far ahead and panic yourself about what what debts you have or anything like that, or what you need to pay off and things. Okay. You are going through quite a transitional time, like we said before with that I was, you're in the middle stage between an ending and a new beginning. So that is part of your future right now, is you are still in that transitional time. But what you are heading towards is healthy relationship, I see. So let's see what your advice is. What is your advice? What is your advice? Let's see. Okay. So your advice came out as there was the Two of Swords in reverse. So that is somebody coming out of this kind of like stalemate situation. The advice is to take off that blindfold and choose your sword. Choose that direction, make those plans. So let's see, come on, advice. Let's get the card to come out. What's going to fly out for us today? Advice on here. I love it when they don't talk. Okay, the advice is the Hanged Man, which I thought that one was when it first came out before. Your advice is to surrender to this. Your advice is to fully let go, surrender, and it's time to take a different perspective, because a lot of what I'm feeling for the person that you are here is, if you can't control things in a certain way, or you don't feel like you can be able to be of service, or be the one in control of a particular situation, then it's kind of like giving an energy of you wanting to run away from it. But this is asking you to, if you want to collapse those kind of patterns and you want something more healthy, stable and secure in your life, rather than what's been going on in the past here, then it's time to surrender to this current situation where you are right now. Okay, having the strength, having the courage, being fairly bold really, and allowing. So it's let go of the thoughts of what if, and what if this, and what if that, and it's holding you back massively from being able to make a decision in your life and to choose something. So that is your advice. What about your environment? What do we have for your environment right now? What do we have for environment? Let's turn that one over on there. That was the world. Environment might be coming up as you actually taking some time to travel. Taking a little bit of time to yourself. And that might be the transition that's going on there as well, is taking some time to travel, spend some time learning about yourself, learning about your needs, and stepping away from this like non-friend sort of situation that's going on over here, so you can be fully focused on this celebration that you are entering into. So what about your environment then? So environment is coming up as the Two of Pentacles. So you are doing a lot of juggling at the moment in your current environment. This is about you finding some time to become flexible. So the energy of this is sort of like, right now, I see somebody like holding on to the purse strings and afraid to sort of take any chances or move in any direction, because I feel like you've got a mission on to do with financial situation, or you just feeling lack of. Now, this is kind of like, again, taking that different perspective and allowing some flexibility, allowing some wiggle room and movement here, because this is ultimately about the relationship with yourself as much as it is with a connection with somebody. And this is about you finding that balance, finding the balance between like what it is that you want in terms of what you've manifested and like on the material level. So it's basically like what you want to achieve on a spiritual level and also what you want to achieve on a material level as well, and getting the balance between the two, because I feel like you just find it difficult or struggle to balance out those two just a little bit. So in your environment, that is about getting that flexibility and that balance right. I've got the Two of Cups on the bottom again. So yeah, it is suggesting to me that I do feel like some form of union or relationship is on your mind at this time. But there is fear around it. There's something holding you back or stopping you, and this need to sort of make a decision, make plans, let go and surrender. Let's see what your hopes and fears are then on here. What are your hopes and fears? What just fell out there? 2 cards fell out. Okay. Wow. Hopes and fears. The Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Very fiery. So your hopes and fears, I don't see a lot of fear. I see a lot of hope. And the hope is pure passion. Pure passion. This is somebody that is very determined, and you know, your hopes are to be really determined, full of passion, getting your needs met, getting your desires met, standing in your power basically. And the Knight of Wands kind of reflects that in the sense of this is somebody that is taking inspired action and going after adventure. And I do feel it's almost like you haven't felt like you could before, because you thought like, oh, I'd like to go and do this, or I'd like to go and travel there or do this. But you haven't been able to, because you've been feeling this sort of Queen of Pentacles in reverse energy that's holding you back from like, well, yeah, but if I just keep working away, then I'm just going to keep bringing more in, and then I can go and do these things. But Spirit's actually asking you to do it now. There's an opportunity that's right in front of you that's illuminating something that's really going to allow you to feel your creative and passionate self. You know, really bringing out these attributes within you, the companionship, the prince, the martyr, in the sense of like, you know, things that you provide for the people, and then liberate yourself. Yeah. You will bring inspiration to other people, I feel, in where you go with this and where you move with this. I do feel there is a situation with you in terms of a new relationship, potentially. Once you've made through this transition and let go of this like non-friend third party situation over here, and once you fully let go and surrender to this, it's going to bring you more than just that passion in terms of love. It's also going to help you to bring more financial flow and abundance in, is what I'm getting from this. There is an inspired action that you are hoping to take, and Spirit is basically saying like, yeah, have no fear, go for it. Let's see what your outcome is. What is your outcome on here? What is your outcome? keep seeing the Lovers. What is your outcome? What just fell? Okay. Okay. Your outcome is suggesting that something you are reminiscing about from the past, has changed. It's like something has improved. And this might be, it's actually kind of suggesting to me now, this could actually be a situation or a person from the past almost. But there's something that you are reminiscing about here, that you've been through a few karmic lessons and some kind of change. And you actually feel, the outcome here is that you feel something that you're reminiscing about is your fate, that it's meant to be. That's what I'm getting from this. It's like you feel fated towards this, and that is the outcome. So it's almost like as much as you feel in the way that you feel, and whatever's happened in the past here, whatever's happened to make you feel so conflicted and to hold on to these emotions, it's always been there. It's kind of still in your energy as to, and I feel like, you know, there's been this betrayal of yourself. It's almost like you aren't admitting to yourself how you really feel about something. But with that Page of Pentacles, it's like two different thoughts. It's like the one direction, it's like, I need to run away from this, I need to let go of this, this isn't going to work for me. And then on the other hand, there's like, I want to plant a seed of this, I've manifested this, I want to move towards this. And that's what they're asking you, your advice is to let go and surrender to whatever this is, because it feels to me like it's telling you that this is fate, this is your fate. And I feel like you already know that, you've already realised that. And things are changing within this. Things are definitely changing. You are reflecting a lot at the moment about your past and about past relationships potentially, or companions that you've had. But you're starting to realise, actually, I can change things. I can upcycle. I can learn from karmic lessons and not let that bleed into my new companionships. Okay. So I'm going to leave this reading here. If that resonated with you in any way and you would like a personalised reading, we can get more in depth with who these connections are with people, who that non-friend third party potentially is, so that we can look deeper into that if you're unsure about what that is, and just a way forward for you as to what you need. If you go onto my Instagram page, you can see on there a lot of testimonials and things that people have sent me through the readings that they've had, if you would like to know what people have said about personalised readings with me. So yeah, just have a look down in the description box, and if you haven't already, please do like and subscribe to my channel, and I'd love to see comments, emojis or anything like that, to let me know what you thought of this reading. Have a blessed full moon.